Hello and welcome to the podcast pre-show.
Hello, everybody. Hello. We are here. This is the podcast pre-show where you get a chance to chat with us, hang out with us, and experience what it's like to make a podcast live. So there will be errors. There will be things that go wrong. We'll have flubs. Our kids will probably disrupt us, but we're going to make the podcast, and rest assured, when the podcast goes out to the rest of the world, it will be perfect. But the live show, you know what? Anything goes, and that's the beauty of tuning in to Mary and Blake live, because you'll hear the dog bark and you'll hear all the stuff. So that's that. And also of note, Mary, something new has popped up for Mary and Blake Media. Something that I did just today, right before we went live.
Okay.
Want to know what it is?
Sure.
I signed us up for Twitch, so now we are live on Twitch as of this moment.
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a place for podcasts and people like who do games and everything, where they broadcast what they're doing live.
Okay.
So it's something similar to that. Yes, Reese.
What? Okay.
Sorry. See, there you go. That's the beauty of live podcasting. So as of this moment, we are live right now on X, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and I'm still having a hard time with what's it called? With Instagram. It won't let me go live. I don't understand why, but it is what it is. So this is the live show. We're here. We're ready to go. We're ready to talk about some House of the Dragon.
Yes.
All right. Anything else you want to get into the podcast pre-show?
This is just a great time to hit share it with a friend in Messenger, to share on your wall or in your stories. Sharing is caring, and truly podcasts get learned about from word of mouth better than anything else.
Yes, absolutely. So go ahead and share that if you can, if it's a screenshot or if it is a post, or if you just want to hit the share button, whatever it is, please do so. And that's that. That's all we got there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, another thing, too. We will have a listener feedback portion of the podcast. So if you have something to say and you want us to look at it, obviously, please have the conversations amongst yourselves on the various platforms that you're on. Of course, we want you to do that. But if you have something specific for us that we want to recognize or see or read or comment on, make sure that you, even if you've put it in the chat before, that's fine. Put it in the listener feedback section of the podcast when it's ready to go. So yeah, that's it. All right, ready to make a podcast, Marvin?
Yes.
All right, let's do it, shall we?
We shall.
10 seconds for
Room tone.
The voices of history guided Viserys. He knew that his wisdom alone could only reach so far.
Do you think that is why he changed his mind? In the end, no matter how suited he thought Rhaenyra for the crown, the voices of history, as you say, would have told him how the realm would react to her
It's
succession.
impossible to know what steered his thoughts in those final hours.
Do you now doubt his intentions?
Rhaenyra's supporters will believe what they wish. And so will Aegon's. The war will be fought. Many will die. And the victor will eventually ascend the throne. The significance of Viserys' intentions died with him.
Yes, it did.
Live in the Minute with Mary studio from Providence, Rhode Island, welcome to the House of the Dragon with Mary and Blake. It's a podcast dedicated to the House of the Dragon on HBO. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about fire and blood. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Mary Larson.
My name is Blake, and I just want to say one thing that I think is really important. It's a new drop that I've added, so we're going to play it anytime that we feel it's apropos for a show, and it's this. Ready?
Raise the glass.
We got to raise the glass.
Okay.
We're going to raise a glass to Rhaenys.
Oh.
Because we're gonna fly a lot of flags half-mast
We
for all of
are.
you so all of you Hamilton nerds out there. I'm back into Hamilton now because we had a chance to rewatch it on Disney Plus for the
4th of July.
4th of July, and I'm like, now I'm in that mode where everything in my world, everything in
Is
my
a
head,
Hamilton reference.
it's a Hamilton lyric again.
It's something that happens. For those of you who have binged the Hamilton soundtrack or seen the play, you know what it's like.
Yes, you know exactly what that's like. So we're going to raise the glass to Rhaenys, and for those of you who are watching on any of the live platforms that we're recording on right now, you know what team I'm on. So, but we're going to save that. We're going to save that because the primary audience for this podcast is the listening audience.
That's
and
right.
We're going to save that because you guys are special.
You know, speaking about audience, I want to just give a shout out. A few of you have been able to actually leave us a review in Apple Podcasts because that is one of the best ways to help us grow the audience. So if you've been a longtime listener of the House of the Dragon with Mary and Blake, if you wouldn't mind heading on over to Apple Podcasts, no matter where you listen to this, you could listen to this on Facebook, on YouTube, on any other podcast app. But if you head to Apple Podcasts and write us a written review, not just the stars, but the written review, it does our hearts some good. So I want to give a thanks because Burgess 68 had tried to write in a while ago and it was cut off. She was able to fix it. So it says, I love the newest addition to the show where Mary and Blake show their allegiance by the colors they wear. This is one of my fave fan podcasts. Mary's empathy and understanding for the characters, even when she hasn't read the books, and Blake's attention to the film, TV making always makes me say, interesting. As someone who has read the book, I can't wait to see their reactions to the rest of the season and beyond. Love it. Here for it. Yes.
All right.
Thank you so much. And like I said, if anyone else wants to leave us a written review, we would greatly appreciate it. All right. One more thing.
What?
Is we're podcasting not just about House of the Dragon, but also about Bridgerton. And our kids have started a Pokemon podcast. So if you have young ones in your life who like Pokemon, or you want to get to know Pokemon a little bit more through the lens of a 9 and 11-year-old, it is fully done by them. They write the scripts. We just hit record and Blake puts it up, but they write the scripts. It's about 5 to 7 minute long episodes, and the Pokemon podcast with Reese and Felicity.
Yes, the Pokemon
Pokédex. Sorry, the Pokemon Pokédex.
Get that? Come on, gotta
I'm trying. It's
protect
new.
the anchor.
It's new.
Protect the anchor.
So you can see all the podcasts that we do at maryandblake.com. We, of course, want to give a shout out to our friends at jointhenerdclan.com. You guys are getting some extra special treats there.
Another thing, too. Yes, actually, I think you were just about to lead into that. For you Outlander nerds out there, I have resumed Blake's book club. We are now breaking down Drums of Autumn, which is the 4th book of the Outlander series. And I've already done 4 chapters. Gonna do my 5th today, by the way. So we'll see how that turns out. All right, Marvin, enough of that. Enough of the anchor. Let's get into this episode, shall we? All right, let's do it.
Little mini plot recap for those of you who listen to this in the future. This is the Red Dragon and the Gold. It's the 4th episode of the 2nd season. In this episode, Daemon is still at Harrenhal. His dreams just keep getting weirder and weirder, and he meets some kind of weird witchy lady that we met earlier. We didn't get to know her name. We didn't get to know her name, I don't think, in the previous episode.
Not in the previous episode. Sorry, I thought you were going to say this episode.
So we meet Alice Rivers. She's freaky. She just needs to stop. Lots of weird people in the Riverlands. Listen, if people don't get to see sunshine, they just get weird, all right? They just get weird.
So many great weird things.
Then we have Rhaenys, rest her in peace. The Princess Rhaenys, she talks to Alan and then says to Corlys, I know. I don't.
Told you, I called it. Totally called it.
Sir Criston Cole, worst hand ever. Not only does he have the hand necklace, but he leads into battle with the king's brother. Wicked weird.
Well,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
And then basically Rhaenyra comes back, was like, I tried for peace. Peace sucks. Let's all go burn them all. And war ensues. And we lose Princess. We lose Princess and Meleys. And weird things are going on.
Not great, Bob.
Not great.
Not great at all. So let's get into it because there's a lot to unpack in this episode.
All right. So how many? Let's see. Oh, the title. Okay. Sorry, that's my fault.
Episode
I'm looking at too
details.
many things. I got screwed up.
It's you. There you go.
Yeah, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Okay, so the title was The Red Dragon and the Gold, which obviously is in reference to the two dragons that we're fighting, but it's not Vhagar. I think it's in reference to Meleys and to Sunfyre. So that is that. The director was Alan Taylor, one of the creative forces behind the House of the Dragon. You could even kind of, sort of, if you really wanted to, blink. Oh, sorry. Not wink or blink, squint, and you'll see it, a co-showrunner for House of the Dragon. This is a big deal because he was a major contributor to Game of Thrones, obviously, a very popular, very talented director, and it's great to have him back on board. He did, in fact, direct the premiere of Season 2, A Son for a Son, and the writer for this episode was... Oh, sorry, hold on one second. A writer for this episode was Ryan Condal, who is the showrunner of House of the Dragon. This is the A team, Marvin. This is the A #1 team that we have for House of the Dragon, making this thing go. Ryan Condal has written episodes 101, 102, 103, 110, and 201 of House of the Dragon. We're almost getting to the point with Ryan Condal where I'm going to end up saying, "Hey, do that on your own time." He's written so many, but we'll stick to tradition for now. So that is it. How many flames are you giving this episode,
I'm
Mary?
giving it 4.9.
4.9. Okay.
Yeah, which I think is what I gave it last time.
I am surprised that you didn't give it more.
Oh, well, there's only 1/10 more, so it's okay.
Okay, fair enough. For me, I'm giving it a 4.
Do you want to know why I didn't?
Well, yeah, sure.
I want more Rhaenyra.
Ah, okay.
There you go.
All right, fair enough.
That would have pushed it over.
All right, for me, I'm giving this a 4.95. I am out flaming Mary in a rare occurrence on Mary and Blake Media.
Yes.
This is a really big deal. In just the short explanation for this, Mary, is this episode takes what happened last episode and builds on it and improves it. They both serve each other, and without the last episode, this episode isn't as good, and the last episode isn't as good without this one, right?
Agreed.
That's why I give it a 4.95. There are still some little dinky doink things that got to get talked about. We'll get there.
Dinky doink.
But yeah, so that's it. You're GBG. You're good. You're bad, and you're great.
Okay. My good for this episode is dragon battles. Love me some dragon battles.
Oh, yeah.
Love seeing the dragons. Love seeing their personalities. The CGI is fantastic.
Yep.
I'm pretty pumped.
Hard not to like.
And you know what I'm really pumped about is
What's
that they don't swear or anything during these dragon battles, which means we can show our kids these dragon battles.
That's true. That's a good point.
Because they see like dinosaur shows on TV and animal shows, so no human is swearing. And honestly, the dragon killing and fighting that they do isn't terribly bad. I mean, yeah, they're searing hot blood, but aside from that, it's not bad.
Yeah, but whatever.
So I'm pretty pumped to show the kids this. So dragon battles for the win in the Larson household.
Absolutely.
My bad, Alan. Ugh, now I actually really have to care about him? God, next thing you're going to tell me is that Hugh's important as well. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Not great, Bob.
Not to mention, that was the last conversation that Rhaenyra had.
Yeah. Well,
Rhaenys, well, she's dead. Princess Rhaenys had with her husband, was being like, I know you cheated on me. I know this was your son.
Yeah.
I know you didn't even tell me your son took you out. What else haven't you told me? Bye.
Yeah. See you later.
That was her last conversation with her husband, was being like, I know you cheated on me, and that's your kid.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Let's see how that sits with Corlys.
Yeah, but it wasn't, I think, in a way that you're characterizing it.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, he didn't tell her who it was, and she's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't be a jerk. And then that's how they left. That's the last thing she said to him.
Well, but it was more like, you need to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And raise him up.
Yeah. But also, in my head, I'm like, what the heck, Corlys? I mean, maybe it was before they got married. Doubtful.
Yeah.
Doubtful.
Doubtful, too.
You can't say he did it with a mermaid when he was out at sea someday.
Right.
That kid doesn't have flippers, okay? Anyway, my great...
I don't see no gills.
My great...
Yep.
milk was a bad choice. Okay? You know that phrase.
Yeah, of course I know that phrase.
Yeah. Okay? Milk was a bad choice.
Right.
This is when you think something's really great.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Yeah. You think something's really great, and then you get it, and you're like, milk was a bad choice. Dragon battle, Criston Cole, bad choice.
Yeah, bad choice.
And you see him be like, milk was a bad choice.
like
Dragons
like,
were a bad
you see
choice.
You see his brain processing.
Because he was like, this is the best idea ever. It's so great that I'm forgetting I'm hand to the king, and I'm
Right.
not even getting the king's approval. And then, holy smokes, the king's here. Milk was a bad choice.
Yeah.
And then Aemond, milk is a bad choice, tries to kill everybody multiple times.
Lot of buyer's remorse going on
All
right
the
now.
dead people. No. Criston Cole, his reactions, realizing he did a bad job.
Yeah, that's what
Love
I'm
it.
saying.
Love it.
He
That's
ear-
my great.
He earned that he earned milk was a bad choice.
That needs to be a sticker on his armor now. The hand necklace and a sticker. Dragons were a bad choice.
Yep. No.
I take
Milk
it.
was a bad
Yeah,
choice.
But it needs to be like, can I take it back?
Yeah. True. Good point.
Because you can't from here. You can't. Sorry. Okay.
All I could. He needs. You know what he needs on his horse?
Yep.
He needs like a sticker on
The
the
dead
back
horse?
of his horse. Oh yeah,
Because
actually, that's a
the
good
horse
point.
that he walked by, that was somebody else who was dead on the
on,
ground.
on his new horse,
Hopefully he gets
presumably, it should have one of those stickers on the like you see on the back of minivans that says like "My dragons burned your stick family."
Yes.
Yes, that's what he needs.
Yes.
Yes.
My dragons burned my men and my horse.
All right, so that's your great.
Okay, what's
All right,
your
good? All right.
Just Criston Cole kind of getting what was owed to him.
yes.
All right, Blake, what is your GBG?
All right, my good. Love to do this, Mary. It's a
Oh.
tie. It's
Okay.
a tie. First, let's get weird, baby. It's a Mary and Blake
Always.
media commandment, and anytime we get weird, it's always going to be in the GBG, because it's not that we're necessarily learning more about. What the heck's his name? Oh my God! What am I? Oh my God! Why am I blanking on his name?
Which team are you on, Blake?
Damon, thank you. Oh my
Okay.
goodness gracious, Damon.
I don't think we're on Facebook Live anymore.
We're not?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Well,
Do you want to do a quick check and you can edit this?
uh,
Because you had a brain fart anyway.
sure. Yeah, why not? Well,
Is anyone live here on Facebook? Because I'm looking at our Facebook page to share it, and I don't see a live.
oh, you know what?
Yeah.
It's the reason why is because we need to reconnect.
Well, that stinks.
I am doing it right now. I don't know why.
Sorry, friends. Once again, this is live podcasting, so you get to see the behind the scenes.
All right, so it says it's unable to connect. Oh well,
Why?
you know what? I don't know why. It is what it is. So
my
we
gosh.
can put up a message on YouTube. All right. Anyway, let's redo this. All right. So my good is, as always, Mary. It's the thing that I love. It's a Mary and Blake media commandment. It is, let's get weird. And anytime that there's a weird, it's always going to be in GBGs, because I'm not sure if we're learning more about Daemon or we're learning something that we don't already know. And it's always hard to show this kind of, let's see, it's always like that character development or that character, the inside of a mind of a character through dreams.
Okay.
Like you can do it, and if you do it right, it works really well. And this is what I'm about. What I'm about is, even if we're not learning something new about a character, I want to at least dive more into what I already do know, and I want to do it in a creative and inspired way. So that's why I say, let's get weird if done right, and dreams if done right is always going to be in there, because I think we are still getting an inspired way for Daemon. I still think that what is revealed in this dream is done in a way that is interesting and vibrant and captures attention. Having him behead young Rhaenyra is a choice, and how he can't understand her, and then finally being able to understand her and recognizing what he has done and how he has done it. It's an interesting way to show that. So I was really in on that. But my other really great about this is Oh, sorry, my other good is the conversation between Aemond and Aegon at the table at the council meeting. That was great, and this was a way to show the relationship between these two without telling you, right? Aegon doesn't necessarily know Valyrian. He didn't pay attention in Valyrian class the way that Aemond did, and Aemond knows that this is a public execution, really, for Aegon. Even though nobody else really understands them, it works on a couple of different levels. One, it's great to still see that the Targaryens still speak Valyrian, that they still use it. It's kind of their own secret little language. I love that. I love when Valyrian pops up. But also, it just shows the dominance that Aemond has over Aegon, and he can embarrass him. And even though nobody understands the conversation, people understand what's happening, right? They understand something's going down between these two. And I love that public execution part of it. All right, for me, the bad is kind of like you, Mary. It's the whole thing with Alan and the conversation that Corlys and Rhaenys have. I like that Rhaenys gets this moment where she can kind of address what she already knows, but it's like, this is the time that you do it. Like, it's the show was clearly showing its hand at this point, and in my opinion, that Rhaenys was going to die. You don't often have these kind of conversations unless there's some sort of closure or there's some sort of closing that's going to happen, right? It's like that episode 2 of season 8 of Game of Thrones, where everybody was in Winterfell and everyone's having these kind of goodbye conversations. It was almost like one giant episode of this motif, right? It's the same thing here, but on a smaller scale. My great. I have to give it to the guy who plays Lord Staunton.
Yeah, that guy.
The guy when he sees Vhagar.
Oh, okay.
And he just knows.
The old guy in Rook's Rest.
Yeah, he just knows that death is coming. And he knows that there's no answer for what Vhagar is going to bring. And there's this moment, Mary, when he just kind of looks out in awe of Vhagar, and he looks out with this notion of holy crap. And it, to me, is reminiscent of that kind of that directing move or motif that Steven Spielberg often uses, Mary, and that is when characters, they're looking out at something off screen and the director goes right up into their face so that you get a chance to actually see that awe and you get a chance to see their reaction. It's not necessarily the thing that is so like that matters to the viewer, right? What matters more is the reaction to the thing. And Alan Taylor does a great job of capturing Lord Staunton's reaction the way that Spielberg would in his films of Lord Staunton. And of course, the VFX team and everything, we have to give them props too, right? Seeing Vhagar like kind of go from looking like a rock or whatever, and then moving, and then seeing him like with the wings come up and out and crawl out. It's an intimidating thing.
It is.
I was so in on this. I thought it was
Chris,
great.
he is the oldest dragon with dragon lore.
Yes.
The older you are, the bigger you get.
Right.
So that does kind of show like a crabby old person.
Yeah, and it just the awe of it, and just knowing that there's no way out of this for his house. Like this is the end. I really liked that.
Nice.
I thought that was a really great moment to capture, and they captured it so well.
I mean, hopefully he's not dead. He probably is dead.
He's probably dead.
Yeah.
I mean, like either way, though, like for this character, it's either he's dead by dragonfire or he's dead because he fought against.
Alicent's brother came in and took off his head.
Right. So like something bad's happening here.
Agreed.
Like he knows that this is the end. Once Vhagar shows up, And like that shot of Vhagar flying, coming over, like
Slowly.
that slow, so cool. Like just such an intimidating. Like you get It almost reminded me of when we saw Drogon for the first time, like at the Battle of the Loot Train in season 6 of Game of Thrones, when you saw him fly up over all the Dothraki and to fight the Lannister army. Like I watched it the other day because I was editing something for the podcast. And I got goosebumps watching it because you forget how awesome it is. And I got the same feeling in watching Vhagar.
Very cool.
So cool. So cool. All right. So what do you got, Mary, for the rest of this episode? Where do you want to begin?
We're supposed to do for Team Green or Team Black.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. My fault.
It's okay.
Team Green or Team Black, Mary?
I'm not wearing it today.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yes.
It's all right.
What do you...
I'm washing clothes right now, guys. I'm just gonna be real with you. I'm wearing teal.
Yeah.
And it does not mean I'm Team Green. It means
Sure.
I'm Switzerland. No, I'm Team Black.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Team Black in this episode for show.
Wow. All right.
Team Green, what are we doing here?
All right.
No one knows what's going on. Alicent now knows the truth, and she's an idiot, and it shows on her face. So everyone that's close to her that's somewhat reputable and has a brain, they know that she messed up. Aegon and Aemond, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay?
I am wholeheartedly. I found the greenest thing that I could wear. I am in on Team Green on this.
Good for you.
I am so.
I'm going to awkwardly look at you like Lannister looked
And here's
when all the Valyrians started to go down. Like a little like, ugh.
All right. Here's the reason why.
Are
Mary.
you just Team Aemond?
Oh, I love Aemond.
I know. Is that just really who you are?
No, but I love Aemond.
Good for you.
The reason why
Love that for
love
you.
that for you, Blake. The reason why I'm Team Green is well, first of all, Team Black lost Rhaenys. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a problem.
that is a problem, and my heart goes with them. So for that loss, I just want to be here
Right,
for them.
but the thing is, though, you have to consider what Team Black is going to be without Rhaenys
what are we
and
doing
without
teaming
Meleys.
buys? Are you like who you're rooting for? Who you think's gonna win?
Well, they can be one and the same.
No.
If I want to root for somebody, I'm rooting for somebody because they're going to win. I'm not doing
we
it for
know
funsies.
who wins. We know who wins, and we know they all die.
I know, but
no one is immortal. We watch Game of Thrones,
But
and
there
we
are-
know that the only person right now who knows the story of Ice and Fire is Rhaenyra.
well, not anymore.
Now Jace.
Yes,
Yeah, both of them what color? Black.
sure,
Okay, so we kind of know
but
the
that
ending
doesn't
of
mean
the
the Blacks
story.
win.
Well, they have to live. Some one of them has to live,
Well,
and the baby eggs live.
one of their kids could get on the throne. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be like Jace or Aegon, like super young Aegon.
Oh, I don't
It
think
could
Jace
be-
is long for this world.
Neither do I. But it
Talked back
could be
to his
Aegon
mom.
the second. Like it could be Alicent's Aegon. It could be anybody, and then from there it passes on to some. It doesn't mean that.
I think it's the little blonde babies who tucked away with the eggs.
Maybe it could be.
Yeah, the little hidden ones.
It very well could be. But what I'm saying is,
What did I miss? What did I miss?
I think that. Where were you, Pentos? I think that I am going for Team Green because I cannot root for Team Black now. You lost Rhaenys was the one person that
What
was
do you
the
mean you
saving.
can't root? You're from Red Sox country. Are you saying that because someone loses that you can't root for them?
No. I'm saying that Rhaenys was the one person that actually has a brain on Team Black. And like I said last episode, you can't trust Rhaenyra anymore.
No, I
she's
trust her to
I,
win.
I don't trust her. I don't trust her if I could throw her at all. Like, no. Nope.
I trust that she tried to find peace, and I think
I
that's a really
Agree.
amendable thing. And I think that for Rhaenyra, Black gets extra points in my book.
Yeah, I
week.
think it's going to be hard to root for Team Black because now everybody on Team Black is Banana Land. Rhaenys is going to be Banana Land. Rhaenyra is going to be Banana Land. Rhaenys was the only person that had a brain to be like, all right, everybody, let's calm down.
Corlys is having babies left and right. What are we doing?
So I am Team Green because at least Alicent kind of gets it.
No, she doesn't.
She does. She
You know what
does.
in the clip, she just says, whatever.
She says, yeah, it doesn't
It
matter
doesn't
anymore.
matter anymore.
Right. Because it doesn't.
You know why
At least
it's
she's
easy,
real.
You know why it's easy for her to say that? Because it's her fault. Where's the Taylor Swift?
Yes.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. It's
No, I know.
Alicent's
But
fault.
at least she's real about it.
Nope, she wasn't real and honest about it. She's just like, oh, there's a problem? There's always problems.
And
Huh?
and I gotta get when you said something
Alicent.
about Criston Cole, Mary,
Oh, jabroni.
and I balked a little bit because you're like, oh, that milk was a bad choice. Shouldn't have done this. I look at it like, oh no, that was the whole point. What happened? They wanted. They don't care about Rook's rest. Like, who cares about Rook's rest? Nobody. It's a nothing little castle.
That's
the
what
idea
people say about Rhode Island, and I care.
the idea behind it was to get out dragons and to get them fighting and to gain the advantage. And that was the whole point. It's a smart move. I got to give it to him. So I'm going green.
Good for you.
All right. You know who else has a thought on Team Green, Team Black?
Who?
It's your dad.
Good job, Dad.
All right, here we go.
Hold on.
This is Mary's dad. Voice of my
Stop.
opinion on Team Black and Team Green. I'd say I'm definitely with Team Black.
Nice.
I think that the princess really tried to avoid the war and took tremendous personal risk to try to ensure peace. And that's why I'm on her side.
Nice, Dad.
Daemon is, of course, he's kind of the counterbalance to that.
Yep.
But we'll have to see what happens. But definitely Team Black.
All right, and now he's got his other thoughts too.
Okay.
You ready for those?
Yes.
So from now on, he's going to be sharing which team he's on and then his thoughts.
And
but
how often do you think I'll match with my dad?
Probably every time.
Yeah.
But I talked to him about it. He's like, okay, but I got to tell you my team because he sent in his thoughts without telling us what team it was. But from now on, it'll be one voicemail. All right, ready? Here we go.
He knows his job.
Hi, it's Mary's dad checking in with episode 4 of House of the Dragons. Boy, there was so much in this episode. I think I could watch it a few times, but being mindful of time here, my good, bad, and best. My good was that Aemond messed up and got his butt kicked. My bad was that Rhaenyra was lost. That was tragic. I loved the look in the red dragon's eye when he looked back when he knew that he was going to fall.
Yep.
And it was like telling Rhaenyra he was sorry. The best is that Alicent is now questioning whether Aegon was supposed to be king. That's why she wants to read all the books and all the notes that her late husband had. 3 people that I'm interested in what's going to happen with
Do
them.
tell us, Dad.
Alice, that witch at
Yeah.
the who's the Meister
Yeah.
at Harrenhal.
She's freaky.
Alan, the guy that saved Corlys.
He's boring,
And
Dad.
the little kid that Daemon tried to convince him to kill his grandfather.
The Tully.
And the 3 questions I have is, number 1, is Aegon really dead? I
No.
don't think so. Criston called Aemond off, so I think Aegon's still alive. Was Alicent taking a potion to abort the baby
Yes.
that she had with Criston?
Mm-hmm.
That was a question. And what was my 3rd question? I can't remember.
He's so nervous about the time.
He's
so nervous.
He's so nervous. He got cut off.
Dad, you can call as many times as you need, and you don't have to introduce yourself each time because it tells us with the message. So let's listen to the third
here we
one.
go. Let's go.
Mary's dad again. My last question was, what is going on with the bed that Daemon is sleeping in? Why did Alice say that it was made from heartwood, from trees that have a spirit? Could that be what's causing his dreams? That's it. Have a great week, folks.
All right, there we go. Thank you. All right, so first of all, Mary, let's talk about this. Alice Rivers, do you believe that she's a barn owl from thousands of years ago who's just cursed in human form, or is she busting balls?
Listen, I've known a kid or two who's been able to change himself into a raven before.
That's true. Good point.
I'm not going to put it past Alice. If she says that she can be a barn owl, maybe she can. This is Game of Thrones. She's talking about weird trees. She knows some weird stuff. I'm not saying she's not sometimes a barn owl.
Yeah.
If someone
Maybe
says
she
that,
is.
if someone says there's sometimes a bird, and you're watching this universe, you might have to say it's a possibility.
Maybe it's like that movie. I'm a honeybee. What was the name of
Loved
that movie?
Old
gotta-
Mountain Time.
Oh,
I think. Loved that movie.
I gotta look it up.
That was such a random
Guy
find of
who
mine.
thinks he's
It's this
a
beautiful love
honeybee.
story with
Movie.
oh God, what's her name? Like that's what you just searched, guy.
Yeah,
thinks it's a honey.
Wild Mountain
Wild
Thyme.
Mountain Time.
But it's spelled Thyme.
Yeah.
What?
And it's this beautiful Irish romance movie of quirky awkwardness. And you're like, will they or won't they? Will they or won't they? And then they kind of get together. And then
It's Emily Blunt.
yeah, Emily Blunt is like, why won't you marry me? And he's like, because I'm a honeybee.
Because I think I'm a
And she said, what? And he says, I'm a honeybee, like the ones that go to the flowers.
Jamie Dornan.
And she's like, you're a honeybee? What do you mean you're a honeybee? The whole movie, you're just rooting for them to get married.
And
And,
it's
then
not
he
like
thinks he's a bee.
It's not like a metaphor.
No.
No. He thinks
He
that
thinks
he's a
he's a
honeybee.
Guys, watch it. Do yourself a favor.
It's on Netflix, I think.
It's amazing. Anyway, yeah,
Oh.
I'm not putting it past witch Alice Rivers, the witch,
Oh,
that she can sometimes be an owl. Like I said, we're in Game of Thrones. I've known Bran to be a raven every once in a while, so
Yeah.
I'm not putting it past anybody, particularly witchy kind of
Maybe
people.
she thinks she's a honeybee.
God,
man.
for her to have the same accent as Galus from Outlander.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Galus, witch Galus. You know, I just
That sing-songy kind of lilt
yes,
to her
like
voice.
picking up little potion-y things.
Yes, absolutely,
Oh,
absolutely.
Gosh, are you a time traveler? Like, what is going on?
She is. She's the
Alice-
House of the Dragons version of
She
Galus.
completely is. It freaks me out. So
It is freaky.
I do not trust this girl. I feel really bad about her. But she gives us some history about why this place is messed up.
Yes.
And there were multiple references about how Harrenhal is going to give bad dreams, is going to drive
Right.
people crazy. She says it. She says she knows that Daemon isn't sleeping. And then Larys, who of course is hanging on out and is the guy of whisperers for
Yeah.
King
and
Aegon.
and Harrenhal is his castle.
that was his family that he had burned. He says out loud, "You don't need to worry about Daemon because he won't be able to handle that castle. He
Right.
knows." It's like people who know they have a haunted house.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like, "Yeah, we just don't talk about it. We don't talk about Bruno.
Yeah.
Harrenhal is Bruno,
Absolutely.
somewhere hiding in those walls."
Just with the rats.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mary. And I don't know if she is the one that's doing it to Daemon because like every time he comes out, he sees her.
Well, he's also starting always in bed. And so she says your bed, for example, like not only was this castle built upon chopped down weirwood tree forest.
Sure.
But she says your bed was made by a weirwood tree.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much more creepy haunted house. I mean, people would pay for this kind of stuff nowadays.
Yeah,
People are like,
freaking weirdos.
oh, a haunted house with a haunted bed and a haunted basement. Sign me up.
Yeah, take my money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've
get
got-
out of here.
You know what,
Yeah,
guys?
you
If
are-
that's your thing, just come to Rhode Island because
guys
we've
are
got all the
wild.
weird.
Yeah.
What's the movie that the
The Conjuring
The Conjuring? If you watch The Conjuring,
takes place in Rhode Island.
okay, that actually is a real thing here in Rhode Island. Like that's what the house is based upon. It really. And then what were those following movies with the creepy doll? Because those people were here in Rhode Island with the witch family.
Not Emma. Is it Anna? No.
Annalise or something. I don't know. But that little creepy doll with the
Annabeth?
Conjuring. Annabeth. That was it, I
Annabeth.
think.
Yeah, it was Annabeth.
And then the people who figure out the Annabeth and all that. Those people were from Connecticut, and they would
Yep.
come to Rhode Island all the time. Listen, you want to be in Harrenhal? Just come to Rhode Island.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Oh man.
What was the other question my dad had? Oh, did Queen Alicent take a potion to abort her baby that she had with Criston Cole? Yes.
Yes. That's
And does
definitely what it
Larys
is.
now know is the question.
Oh,
That I
yes.
think
no,
is the bigger
he
question.
totally knows.
I'm sorry. Does the Grand Maester only have a certain bottle for
For abortion.
abortion medicine? Like,
Well, it
how
may have
could
been
Larys
a
come in?
smell. It may have been a
But
smell.
even still, like Larys,
I think Larys would be in on knowing what is what.
I actually think when the Grand Maester left, two mistakes happened.
Okay.
Alicent says to him, "Hey, did you think that Rhaenyra was supposed to be queen or my son?" And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yeah.
He opens the door. There was a guard standing outside of Queen Alicent's room.
Sure.
Also, we know we've been missing creepy eyebrows lady for quite some time. I wouldn't put it past Larys to have his spies know that she's pregnant, that the Grand Maester made this potion, and also someone maybe had a little ear to the door when she was having that conversation, because he comes in and has the same conversation with her.
Yeah. No,
It was just a little too much insider scoop for me.
Yeah, but if you look at it, I mean, he looks directly at that cup.
Oh, he looks, yes.
And
But I'm saying,
as
like,
soon
what
as he
did-
looks at that cup, the tenor of that whole conversation changes.
But I feel like maybe one of the maids that was picking the herbs is his spy.
Sure.
And was like, oh, yes, I picked the bye-bye baby plant.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay.
I mean, maybe.
And I gave it to the Grand Maester. Okay. And then he's like, oh, this is one of the Grand Maester cups.
Yeah.
Like, I think his spies are helping him. Yes, he's an intelligent man.
Yep.
I don't know. Personally, I'm just saying, like, I don't think you go to CVS and you get a prescription bottle. They're all the same orange bottle. To me, the Grand Maester probably has a bajillion of these beautiful steel bottles. It's like getting your pills.
Yep.
But I feel like Larys's spies knew what the Grand Maester was mixing. I feel like Larys's spies are helping out with this. Because
I'll buy on that.
if that is the only bottle, the only chalice that is used for that concoction, that's weird.
The way that the conversation happens between the two of them, by the way, is
By who? The
by-
Maester
no,
or Larys?
Sorry, Larys and Alicent.
Yes, so good.
It is masterful. It's masterfully written.
He's like, you like to read books, eh?
Right. Yeah. And I think it was masterfully directed. The way that they were placed in certain parts of the frame, especially with Alicent, the way that she's sitting
She's
in
in
that
pain.
chair. Yeah. I mean, like, she's like kind of like splayed out. Like, it's just, and it shows it throughout the whole episode where she just doesn't have any Fs to give anymore. Like, her Fs account is on overdraft, and she does that with Aegon. She kind of does it with Larys. It just, you get this sense from her, and it's all acting. It's all framing within the shot itself, and how she's placed. It's a great visual language that it can tell you everything you need to tell. But the subtext of what everything is said in between the two of them is awesome. And one of my other favorite parts, Mary, about the whole scene is when Larys is talking about the histories. He has this book out, and they're still volleying for what feels like control over the conversation. And again, this is why I say subtext, without actually without literally saying I'm looking for control over this conversation. But once Alicent finally says, yeah, you know what, it doesn't even matter anymore. None of this. He's dead, and the history books aren't even gonna care. He shuts the book, and you can see that there's some sort of détente between the two of them. You can feel all the tension of that conversation, just, which is why I loved that conversation. Which is why I played it at the top of this episode, because that envelops the whole episode, in my opinion. It doesn't matter why Rook's Rest is where it's at. It doesn't matter why the war started. It doesn't matter who's fighting in it. All that matters now is that people are going to die. And from now on, this is going to be a big problem. And now we have to put it all behind us and go forward.
One of the things that I really liked in those Alicent shots was we first see her and she's playing with the dragon figurine from her previous husband's dollhouse.
Yes.
And she drops it and it breaks.
Yes.
So to me, I just thought it was a really nice little hint that a dragon was going to die in this episode.
Yeah.
While we're hanging with the Team Green, why and how did the Hand of the King think that this was an okay move to make, to go after Rook's Rest without asking King Aegon what was going on? Was Aemond lying to Cole, saying Aegon knows what's going on? Was Aemond saying, oh, yeah, the king knows. He wants you to go after Rook's Rest. Or does Cole, who's he's not just a soldier. He is the Hand of the King.
Yes.
Is Cole, and has he been, doing all of this without the king knowing on purpose? And also, why didn't Aegon just send a little raven to say, stop this plan. I didn't approve it.
Because
A dragon flies faster than a raven?
well, yes, number one, but also too, like the conversation that he has with his mother. That conversation, I almost played that at the top of our.
No, before he talks with his mom and he's mad at his brother. I know his brother embarrasses him when he's
Yeah.
all like, "Hala la 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 blah," and he's like, "Blah, blah, da, ba, doo." That's Valerian.
Valerian
Yes.
to you.
I would have been so mad as King Aegon, even though I didn't know how to speak Valerian. I was kind of embarrassed. I would have sent a message to Cole saying, "Who do you think you are? Stop."
Yeah, but I think there's also validity to the plan.
There is, and that's
So
the problem.
so he wants to look at it and say, well, okay, you have my blessing. Yes, you can be pissy about not being, told about it, right? But
So
really, it makes sense.
do
So you
you
want to
think
show that you have
Cole
control
knows?
over it.
Do you think that Cole... Here's the question. Do you think Cole thinks he got approval by the king? Or do you think Cole knows he's doing this all behind the king's back?
I think he knows he's doing it behind the king's back.
What a terrible hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Because he's not a hand.
yeah, he's not.
He's a soldier.
And then he feels bad for it at the end. All you see on his face is remorse.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Milk was a bad choice.
Milk
Written
was
all
totally a
over
bad
him.
choice. I think, yeah, I think he believes he's doing it without the king's knowledge, but I don't think he's doing it in a way like F the king. I think it's, I'm doing what I need to do because this is what matters, and I'm going to win
Because he thinks he's right. Yeah.
because he knows he's right.
He doesn't know he's right. He thinks he's right. He obviously was proven wrong.
But he knows he is right, and he was right. The thing that was the fly in the ointment, that somebody came and peed in the pool, it was the king.
No. Just introducing dragons into this warfare is not right. Everybody on all sides know this. You can't go back from having the dragons in. Once
Yeah.
the dragons come in, it is not good.
Well,
Rhaenyra has said it time and time again.
Well, the show is certainly positing, right, or it's using it as a metaphor for nuclear weapons, right? Like once you use dragons, that is the mad situation, the mutually assured destruction. That is this is going to be bad news, and there's going to be fallout. And even visually, they portrayed that after Rhaenys and after Aemond had fought, and Criston Cole wakes up and he goes to touch the knight who thinks he's
there.
He thinks he's there, and he's just ash, and it all fall. It reminds me a lot. Actually, here's a deep reference. It reminds me of Terminator 2.
Okay.
When Sarah Connor has the dream that she's looking out over LA and she's on the fence and she sees all the kids playing in the playground, and she's like, "Come on, everybody, wake up!" And a nuclear bomb goes off and everybody just turns to ash.
Oh.
That's what
It
it
reminded
me
me of the movie Up when Doug thinks that there's a man who owns a dog. "Excuse me, sir, your dog's here. Excuse me." And he keeps walking over, and then he realizes it was rocks.
Mary, there are times when I look at each other and I'm
You're like, "Terminator, nuclear
and
weapon."
Mary's
And I'm like, "You've got
"It's
your dog."
up, it's Doug.
I had another kid movie reference.
Okay.
Was when Mufasa dies, rest in peace.
Yes.
Okay. And Simba's there, and he's talking to Uncle Scar, and he's like, "What do I do? Where should I go?" And what is Scar? "Yeah, run away and never return." That, to me, was the exact feeling when Aegon asks his mom, "What should I do?" He says, "What would you have me do?"
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely.
Just do what we ask of you.
Yes,
Nothing.
Yes.
Oh, that is one of those.
I just wanted Scar's voice.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Hakuna Matata. One of the cool things when she
Such a
was
great-
having that
such a great
conversation
by the way.
with Aegon comes in. Mommy's looking for books. He's like, "Mommy, why are you looking for books?" She said, "What do you mean? Where are these books?"
Yep.
He makes his guys go away. She turns and he says, "I got rid of them. I didn't burn them."
Mhm.
or I moved them, I didn't get rid of them.
Yep.
And he turns, and she's still kind of like looking around the bookcase area, and you see the dagger. And I thought it was such a cool shot
Yeah.
because she is looking for books about the Song of Ice and Fire.
Right.
She is desperately searching for it, and here he is, and the dagger is just in the same spot, like lined up beautifully with her.
Yes.
And then we see the dagger again later when
yeah.
Aemond goes and picks it up
Right.
after Aegon and Sunfyre have fallen.
Yes.
And so I love that we are having so many shots with this very important dagger.
Sure. And it, of course, that was the dagger that she had in her hand when she went to go stab Rhaenyra in season 1, right? So, yeah, really good stuff. But before I forget if we talked about it, is there any chance that Aegon is dead?
No.
No, I don't think so either.
If you do not see them dead, 100% they're not dead.
Yeah, I agree.
We get a couple of mentions of the small folk in this episode, so we just need to keep our eyes and ears out for them because even though they bore me,
So
I think
much
it's
boring.
important. They say the dragons are eating too much food, especially Vhagar.
Yes.
Okay, so they're calling it out, saying people are upset. They also mention the blacksmiths in particular.
Mm-hmm.
We have no more coin to leave out to the effort.
Yep.
So they're saying the people are restless, your dragons eat too much food, and we've got no more money and the blacksmiths don't know what to do. And at which point King Aegon says, "You all bore me."
Yeah. Boring.
Goodbye. Is there anything else Team Green that you wanted to chat about?
Oh, I don't think so.
I'm loving Alicent's brother. I
Oh,
just think he's,
Gwaine.
yeah. I just think he's like your guy who's just like, why are we doing this? Last time we went outside in the bright light, a
Yeah.
dragon came with us. And Criston Cole's like, no worries, man. We got this. Criston Cole does not tell him what's happening.
Yeah.
But then Gwaine kind of gets an idea. And when Criston Cole is knocked out, nobody even knows if he's dead or not. You hear Gwaine in the background
Yeah.
going to Rook's Rest Castle. Follow me, men!
Yeah.
Yay, victory! Like, he's the one that claims Rook's Rest.
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Well done, Gwaine. Well done.
So, I think a good transition to Team Black in this episode, Mary, is understanding the connections that have been made. Like, this battle is not as effective without the previous, episodes of this season, but also I think of season 1, right? Like, yes, is it great to see dragons go in and do the thing? Absolutely. I love watching the dragons fight. It's something that you never saw on Game of Thrones, like, properly. I think it's so freaking cool that we get a chance to see them. I think it's the way that it was shot was awesome. I think the physics of it and the way that the two are like bursting fire at each other, awesome. Great stuff. But none of it matters unless we actually have the world behind it and we have the motivations behind it, right? Mm-hmm. And the reasons why choices are made. And what this show has done has made those choices. There's very little ambiguity as to why people are doing what they're doing. And that, Mary, to me, is a good thing, right? Aemond is making makes the choice to hold back. Aemond makes the choice to shoot fire at Rhaenys and Aegon.
And his brother.
Because
why not?
Because, well, first, I mean, he was embarrassed at the brothel, right?
Yeah.
And he just knows. And again, this is why it was so important that they show you the relationship at the council. He just knows that his brother's a tool bag, right? He's not even a tool bag. He's a power tool.
How many times have you had a boss who you could be doing a better job for, who's
Yes.
an absolute fool? They're power hungry. They put you down, but they're your boss. And then you get the opportunity, potentially, to kill them with a dragon?
And then maybe if
Stab
you
them.
don't, you stab them just to make sure that they're double dead.
Yeah, no one will notice.
I think the relationship there explains all of the movements, and I love that. I also love the fact that Aegon is a disaster of epic proportion, primarily because he gets dressed down by his mom. He gets dressed down by Aemond, and he has this desire to prove himself. This entire season, he's been saying, I don't want people to see me as weak.
You feel bad for him this season. You
I
didn't
kinda
last
do.
season, but this season you're like, oh man, this you were created. You know, it's like nature versus nurture. A lot of this was nurtured.
Yeah, and manipulated, right?
Yes.
I mean, either if it's Laris or if it's Otto Hightower or if it is Alicent, everybody, I kind of feel for Aegon a little bit. I know you just said you feel bad for him, but just as a person, you know,
Just lost his son.
I've been in this position where it's like you have all of these people telling you something and you feel like you have a lot to prove. Everyone is telling you one thing, and maybe it's the right thing, maybe it's not, and you try a whole bunch of different things because you're trying to live up to your dad or you're trying to live up to the person that was before you and hopefully exceed them. And you listen to so many people that you forget about you and you forget about your own inner...
Like maybe he would have wanted to be a painter. What about his dreams?
Well, but
What about his
regardless
wishes?
of that, regardless of that,
Penelope
it's like
Featherington. What about my dreams, my wishes?
ladies don't have dreams; they have husbands. Come on, yeah, you forget that even if he did have his dreams, right? He's still in the space where he is, and you forget how you would react or interact with that space because you're so busy trying to prove to everybody else who you are. So I get why he goes. And I get, like, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I get it.
Would you have?
Oh, that's a great... I don't know.
I would have.
I probably wouldn't have. Because I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Let them figure it out.
After your mom said that to you and everybody
Yeah.
else?
If my mom had said to me, do nothing, I probably would have been like, yeah, I'll do nothing.
I would not.
I'll just wait.
I
I'll
would
wait. We'll see what happens. And then after Rook's rest, I'll take all the credit. It's going to be me anyway because I'm the king. I can say that I did it. Oh, well, sorry. You all suck. I'm the king. I win. Like that would probably be me. Yeah. And I love the motivations that Alicent has. Like she does what she needs to do. And she's just tired. She's played a role her entire life. And now she doesn't have to play that role anymore. In fact, she can see that even in her mistakes, she can mold how things go. And she is tired of pretending to do whatever she needs to do.
She needs to go on a vacation, that lady. She needs to get out of Westeros,
Yeah.
get to Pentos, open up a pineapple shop, and call it a day.
And then
She's done enough damage.
I even like the motivations that Rhaenys has. I like the motivations that when she shows up, she doesn't immediately start just nuking everybody. She flies over, she checks it out. And she's like, I'm still going to hold back because she knows I'm here. If something goes bad, I'm here. But she knows that once this thing goes down, then there's no turning back.
I mean, she turns around twice in this episode.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
She could have gotten away and
Yeah.
lived.
Yeah, she could have lived. She could have lived to fight another day, but she knows that it reminds me of Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. Don't half-ass two things, whole-ass one thing. Because she knows that she had her chance to finish all this in season 1, and she chose not to. She knows that if she just lets it ride again, she could have stopped all of this right from the jump. And if she rides away, she loses that chance. And she knows that if someone's going to do it, it's going to be her.
Yeah.
Because she, at least, again, she's the only person with a full functioning brain at this moment in time. Now that she's gone,
All the crazies.
all the crazies are left. So I think the motivations, they all make sense. All of the emotional math adds up. It works.
I love that Rhaenyra was honest to everyone, saying, this is where I went. You may not appreciate or understand why I went, but I had to go and make certain that there was no shot at peace.
Yes, absolutely.
And now that I know for certain there's no shot of peace, let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about that too, Mary, is that maybe she makes this decision a little haphazardly, because now she's so eager to prove that she can make these decisions.
I mean, her small castles keep going. So she just had the guy that accompanied her to King's Landing. His dad just got beheaded and his castle got taken over. Rook's Rest is the next guy on her other side. So how many of them are even going to stand by her? And why would you stand by someone if they're not taking care of you? I'm in your
sure.
small council. I'm relying upon you, my queen, to protect me. We've been asking you forever to please send your dragons.
Yep.
And now you're just letting all of our dads be beheaded?
Good point.
What are you doing?
Good point.
You know, I felt like losing Princess Rhaenys.
Yep.
If you're not already used to Game of Thrones, if this is your first Game of Thrones experience, this would be like losing Ned Stark.
Oh, I'm not sure if I'm in on that.
Like a father, mother, like the most sane one, the one who you're like, I can trust you to get us through this.
Maybe.
You can be our rudder.
Maybe. Yeah, I could see her taking that role. But losing Ned Stark, you thought that Sean Bain was going to be the main character.
Agreed.
And you thought,
Yeah.
and the way that he was dispatched, you were like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's, no chance.
But this
But it
is the
happened.
beginning. Like, we are going to lose all of these main characters.
At some point, yeah. I mean, they're all going to die. And they're all going to die probably in really horrible, terrible, no good ways.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to talk about? I know we have a hard out here in about 10 minutes.
I did love that Jace got to learn about the Song of Ice and Fire. I think that was
loved
very
that.
important.
I thought the voiceover aspect of it was great. And the fact that Jace now knows is also great. The fact that Rhaenyra feels confident enough to tell him, so cool. So cool.
And then Harrenhal, why is Daemon having all these dreams?
Well, I mean, like we talked about it, Mary. It could be the bed. It could be Alice Rivers.
Could just be his conscious.
It could be his conscious. I mean,
That's what you get, being a jerk.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
Your brother didn't love you as much as he loved his own kid. Well, duh, you're a jerk. And that was his kid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is he supposed to love you more than his daughter? You're a jerk.
Yeah.
So, but now we know what really fueled his fire.
Well, absolutely, and the fact that he beheads Rhaenyra. I mean, I think
we got to see two flashback people. We got Rhaenyra, but then we also had his wife who passed away.
Yes.
Lena. Lena was who he was seeing after he drank the thing from the witchy lady.
Right.
And then he wakes up at the table.
Yeah.
And
he's
Lena
like, "Who are you?
is
What are
the
you
one
doing?"
pouring the water goblet. It's not really her,
Yes.
but she is there.
But he sees her.
What did the witchy women give him?
Well, I think it's great that the show draws a parallel, right, Mary? That it's Alicent who takes a drink to get rid of the baby, and then at this point it's Alice who makes a drink for Daemon to get sleep. But is it really, right? And what is that? The parallel seems to me that it's trying to get rid of Daemon the way that Alicent is trying to get rid of the baby,
Ooh.
right? Like,
Whoa.
I know it feels that way. Like Alice is no friend to Daemon. I'm going to tell you that right now. She is not. She ain't there to be buddies. I think she's got it in for Daemon for something. I don't know what it is, but it ain't good. And the show, the show is telling you this. It's not me saying this. The show is drawing this parallel purposely. I really like the fact that Daemon has to face his own ghosts. Daemon has to face his own choices. Daemon has to see what he has done and how he's let people down, and the choices that he's made has resulted or will result in death constantly. The fact that he sees himself wearing the eye patch. He didn't see Aemond. He saw himself wearing it. Maybe he is recognizing that he has a hand in creating Aemond the way that he is. He is the one who started the process, right? There's a whole bunch of different things that are happening in this moment that I really like. That's why I say, man, when you get a chance to get weird, get weird. Let's do it, baby. So.
And she is a bastard.
Yes.
She's a Rivers.
Correct.
So who are her parents?
That's a good point. Maybe she's a Tully. Like maybe her father. I don't know. I mean, because it depends on how old she is, right?
Yeah.
Because if she
Hey, if
says
you're a
she's a
barn
barn owl,
owl,
man, God knows how old you are.
But she's in the Strong household.
Yes.
So Tullys live there, Strongs live there, but Strongs are from there.
Yes.
Tullys live nearby.
Yes.
All the Blackwood, Brackens, they all live nearby.
Yes.
Okay.
They're all in that area.
All right.
So if she's Rivers, that to me that screams that she's a Tully by birth somehow.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, we are going to find out.
You don't get that knowledge without finding out who your family is.
All right, so we
Alan.
do have a hot out here, unfortunately, so we're going to have to skip the feedback. Maybe, perhaps, Mary, we can do feedback at another time or, something. I don't know.
Stay tuned. We're going to let you know very soon.
We're going to have to figure that out.
Because we do need to let this come out.
Yes.
It's just that I have a concert on the other side of the state. You can do, you know what? I'll have you do listener feedback by yourself as a separate, part B.
Okay.
Because this should come out. And
Yeah, oh yeah. No, I was gonna do feedback
Yeah.
as another episode between you and I.
but if you can just record it while I'm at my concert tonight.
I can do that.
Sorry, friends. I honestly have to be in a very far away place for Rhode Island terms.
All right. So then you know what? Then maybe I won't do another separate episode. We'll
just do it in the
we'll
same
just
one.
say bye to you.
Okay. All right. Want to do the bottom of the episode? You guys get to know what happens behind the scenes.
Yes, I know. Okay, so yeah, we'll do that, and then
Hot takes.
Hot takes. Okay, here we go. Let's do some hot takes.
Okay, guys, I'm back.
Wait, what?
Well, because I'm leaving, because you're going to be editing this.
I'm not going to edit it. You're just going to go, and I'm going to leave it.
What? All of that we just did? You're going to edit that.
Oh, okay.
You're going to let people on the Rail podcast listen to that?
Fine, whatever. We'll just do hot takes. Okay, we're going to move on to hot takes.
Okay.
All right, hot take, Mary. You ready for it?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. All right, do you have a hot take?
Right now, no.
No, nothing. Okay, I do.
Good.
The meeting between the Lord Paramount of the Riverlands and Daemon, it is absolutely going to come back and haunt Daemon in one way or Team Black one way or another. I learned something from my dad that was really important, and that is it doesn't matter who you're talking to, somebody's always watching. Somebody's always listening. And the person that you're talking to could be the janitor right now, but tomorrow they could be the CEO. And it doesn't matter. You always treat everybody with respect. And you always treat people with a manner of propriety and talking onto the same level as them. Meaning, if they're below you, let's just say that, you bring them up to yours. Right? And if you are below somebody, you go up to theirs, right? That's how you maneuver in life. I think this is going to bite them in the butt somehow. Okay. So that is that. All right. Anything else you want to talk about in this episode, my love?
Interesting. No.
Okay, here we go. Let's close this bad boy out.
Those of you who are members at jointhenerdclan.com, you keep this and all of our other podcasts going. In addition to all of the benefits that you get at being a member, Blake has his new book club, Following Drums of Autumn, following in the Outlander series. So if you're an Outlander fan and you're not yet a member at jointhenerdclan.com, you're going to want to join up there. And this is truly a way that you can support this mom and pop podcast shop. So thank you all so much if you already are a member.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Go to jointhenerdclan.com, like as Mary said, or go to maryandblake.com to check out all the podcasts and blogs that we have over there. For all of you Outlander nerds, I have resumed Blake's book club.
That's
We're doing Drums of Autumn. Oh, did I? Did you?
I just said that.
Did you really?
Blake.
I am sorry. What did I do?
how to tell when the hosts aren't listening.
This is why in professional podcast shows, there's a producer
Yes.
in addition to the hosts. One of the hosts is not the producer at the same time. So, yes, I already said that, Blake. Thank you so much, friends, for listening. My name's Mary.
We're just going to close that one out now.
My name's Mary.
My name is Blake, and apparently I wasn't listening.
Jack Harris.
Like, you said the words. I heard them, but I wasn't listening.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
It's amazing how that happens.
It is. Welcome to Married Life.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.